This was an incredible fight. There were two big takeaways. All right. Zahabi looked better than ever here. This was the first fight, in my opinion, where it didn't look like he was afraid to get shot, to take those hits, right? He was willing to move forward through the fire in order to get his own. And Pedro Munoz just seemingly kept coming up short every time he would try and throw a big combo. It would fall short. And that comes to Ayman Zahabi using his range, using the footwork, and really just using distance control to every bit of his advantage here. My other takeaway, other than how great Zahabi looked, is that, Pedro Munoz still has it, right? Like, he went out there as a grown-ass man at this point in his career, this late in the game, and landed almost 100 fucking strikes against this young man. He landed 95 total strikes. Oh, by the way, 95 of them, which is 100% of them, for those of you that are bad at math maybe, were considered significant strikes. So I don't think he knows how to throw things without heat on them. Oh, and by the way, he attempted 327 strikes. So Zahabi was definitely making him miss, considering he landed less than 100 of those. But, I mean, not only was he missing strikes, he was missing takedowns. Zahabi was just a step ahead of him, seemingly everywhere the fight could go and would go. After this fight, I think Zahabi has to get somebody ranked in the top 10. It's time for him to really step into the proving grounds and see just how game he is. And if he beats somebody in the top 10, I mean, he's not that many away from a title shot, in my opinion. Pedro Munoz also should probably drop the word young from the Young Punisher nickname. I'll say it every time I talk about him.
Also, he might be getting dropped from the UFC. Is there any way, boys, y'all could pull up the UFC 135 rankings so I can just think about just tell me the 11 through 15. Because I'm trying to think in my head. I got the top 10 on mark, but none of these guys we're talking about deserve a top 10 yet. I'm trying to think in my head through 11 through 15, but there's just so many killers that it's hard.
We have Jose Aldo. We have Kyler Phillips. We have Jonathan Martinez. We have Dominic Cruz, and we have Montel Jackson.
I think
that'd be a hell of a test for him. I don't think Montel Jackson does. I think he just fought a couple months ago, right?
That'd be amazing.
I got a killer at bantamweight that's not even ranked. Saeed Nurmagomedov.
Oh, fuck. Woo! That's nasty. You want to see Zahabi fight that guy?
Fight. That's a nasty.
Dude, why not?
Fight.
How is that not a phenomenal fight?
That's a phenomenal fight. That is a phenomenal fight. I just don't know if that's just because he's not ranked, right?
Right.
Ooh.
I mean, that's even scarier for Zahabi, bro. Like,
yeah,
bro, Montel Jackson's already a fucking scary fight, but at least he's got a number next to his name, bro.
True.
He's a fucking dog. Montel Jackson fucking.
Oh,
crazy.
Man. I don't know if there's enough upside for him in that fight.
There's just so many killers in the 135-pound division, bro. It's hard, man. You know how pissed off I am? I have to go back now and listen to us say killers. As I said that, I was like, this is going to suck. I'm going to have to go back and listen to this whole pod and listen to every time we say the word killers and tack it down. But I'm here for it, baby, and I'm looking to give out $30. Boys,
someone's going to do a master cut. Killers.
See, those are 4 more right there you just added from Yola. But what Jax just said right there, honestly, I think it's a good point. If Lil Wayne can still be little, then Young Punisher can still be young. And also, shout out Young Thug. Shout out to all the youngs and the littles in the world. You know what I'm saying? I really like that Saeed fight, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's gonna be a great fight for him. I don't know when the last time he fought was, Lala. That's actually a great point. But just so we can get off these 135-pound killers, let's get to this main card, boys. Let's get to some welterweight absolute hitters over here, boys. We had Mike Proper Malott versus Trevin, not 5-star Jones no more, Trevin Giles in this thing. What did you think about this fight crossover, and who did you have going into this, bro?
Going in, I went with Mike Malott. I thought he would use this fight as pretty much like a stepping stone of like, hey, like we all remember what happened at UFC 297, but that's behind me now. It's a new guy, and I'm trying to do bigger and better things now. Ultimately, I don't think he seized it, but I don't think it was entirely his fault. I think Trevin Giles was more so trying to stay at range and just keep it more like a sparring session and let's just score. Because I mean, at the end of the day, Malott landed way more significant strikes. He 30-27'd him, and he did what he was supposed to do. At the end of the day, as a fighter, you're supposed to win and take as little punishment as possible. And if that means like, all right, like let me throw out some kicks, some jabs here and there, and I can cruise to a decision, that's what you're gonna do. But ultimately, we need something exciting from Malott because we got to get him getting finished out of Neil Magny out of our minds.
Bro, you're nailing that. You literally nailed that. That's exactly what we need. And it's got to be an exciting fight where he can stand and bang with somebody. I'm not saying this wasn't a good victory for him, but I mean, come on, boys. We started off the fight stream with this, and I'm pretty sure we didn't even say a word about this fight. So, Olin, you were on there with us, bro. What was your thoughts on proper Mike Malott getting the dub over Trevin Giles?
Yeah, I mean, proper Mike Malott. This guy is he's again a really, really nice kid. I want to see him do good. We all want to wash the taste of that Neil Magny fight out of our mouths. But as Crossover so eloquently said, we're going to need to see a lot from Mr. Mike Malott, and we just didn't on Saturday night. We saw just enough, right? It wasn't a lot. It was Mike Malott, but it wasn't a lot. But I will say it was a good showing for Canada, right? Like Canada was really going out there and getting it done.
Get the fuck out of here.
So it was a good showing for them. We love to see the hometown boy win, but it just, yeah, we had the fight stream going. I think we talked more about whiskey and bourbon than we did about the actual fight, which is okay because throughout the entire duration of the fight, there was less than 100 strikes landed. And the same number of significant strikes landed. So, like, when these guys were landing, they were landing hard. They just weren't landing often enough. So, just like when you're streaming and making this content, like our guy fucking S-Dogs up here in the chat, you got to be consistent and you got to do it often. And our guy Mike Malott just, I'll say it again, he wasn't doing a lot. Not enough for me anyways. I don't think he deserves a top 15 fight with a win over Trevin Giles here. Trevin Giles is someone who's had an up and down career already, so it wasn't that impressive of a win over the opponent and even less impressive of a performance over him. Sterling, what do you think of that performance from Mr. Malott?
I'll tell you what, speaking about performances, this might not be my best performance today, folks, and I'm sorry for that. But like I said, I got 27 fucking things I'm doing over here, and I'm sorry for that. But back to this fight, is there any way you boys can also, when you got time, pull up the last 10 through 15 as well for the welterweight division, because I'd like to see this dude get a ranked fighter next, but nothing too steep, and definitely not Neil Magny again.
Got it right here. So at 10, we got Jeff Neal, 11, Wonder Boy, 12, Michael Morales, 13, MVP, 14, Vicente Luque, and 15, Neil Magny.
Bro, I like the Michael Morales fight.
I want Morales fighting up.
Yeah, really? I want Morales fighting up too. I like the Luque fight for him.
Yeah, but Luque's fighting Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody wants that.
True.
No, true. Very true. Very true. Even when I said it, I was like, damn, he is fighting Diaz.
Like, that's not a fight that feels hot or appealing. That's a Luque warm fight at best, you know? Bad jokes all day.
Is there any, is there anybody else we have to thank for him? He doesn't deserve a Jeff Neal. So I'm trying to think. Jeff Neal would starch this dude. He would fucking starch Malott. So I'm trying to think, bro. Who's somebody?
Dude, I like what somebody put in the chat. Anakin on Anakin MMA said Jake Matthews. I like that matchup.
Oh my God.
Jake Matthews.
Say my bad, boys. Let's get the boy Toron's in here. Anakin's in here. Making the walks in here. Shout out the chat. Like I said, folks, not my best performance. I'm going to fucking lock in here in a minute. I appreciate everyone being in the chat today. Also, Toron and Anakin, like my boy just said, that's a great fucking fight for Malott, bro. I like that fight.
I like that fight a lot. The other name that comes to mind for me is Nicholas Danish Dynamite Dalby.
Ooh, I like that too.
I
think that's just like a meat grinder of a fight, brother. Like, I just think both guys are at the same trajectory right now. They both really need a good, noteworthy win. And I think this would be a good test for both dudes.
I would take Dalby. I would take Dalby in that fight, though.
Well, I mean, so would I. I just said it'd be a fun fight. I didn't say I'm going for Malott in that one, brother.
Mike Mid Malott might be the best way to describe that, man. But hey, boys, what about this? What about this right here? When was the last time we heard about this man?
Ponzi scheme?
Ponzinibbio.
The Ponzi scheme himself? I don't know, dude.
What about Nico Price?
I would take either one of those fights, to be honest.
Nico Price?
I would take Malott winning over Nico Price, but I think I'd take the Ponzi scheme over Malott.
That's a good point. That if they give him against the Ponzi scheme, it shows you the UFC don't give a fuck about him. But if they give him against a guy like Nico or a guy like Dalby, I don't know, man. Dalby's a motherfucker. Let me shut up.
Dalby's the Brazilian killer. Like Dalby's a nasty son of a bitch.
Yeah, Dalby.
But that's the only thing that worries me is because Malott is Canadian, he might lose to him. He typically only kills Brazilians.
That's a great point, bro. That's a great point.
They sent that dude to Brazil 4 times to fight like up and coming Brazilians, and he beat every one of them. That's the funniest shit to me. He's like a meme fighter. He's like C-level Kane.
Is he Poland? What is he?
Danish.
He's Danish. Danish Dynamite, brother.
Damn, my bad.
Yeah, bro. He's a Viking, man. He's on conquest. You send him
crossover. My guy Crossover's fucking cultured. He knows what's up.
He's the fucking Viking.
The quickness. He said he's Danish.
Hey, he is a Danish fucking Viking, bro.
He's dynamite.
Any more thoughts on that, boys, before we move on? And real quick, I know we're a little short on time here. Do y'all also think that's it for Trevin Giles? Do you think they give him one more?
I think Trevin Giles gets cut after this. I think we probably see the roster update within the next 3 days.
Unfortunately, I think the same thing, unfortunately.
I'm 100%.
But I think he's got a hell of a career waiting for him in like Cage Warriors or like PFL or wherever he ends up going. Because he's not a bad fighter at all. He's just at this stage in his career, it's tough to compete with these guys at 170 in the UFC.
And also he's a cop. So it's like how much training can you really get done? And I mean, it's like you're kind of already having a career. I know you're trying to do this to get out of that. Like shout out what's his name? Not Kyle Dawkins, Phil Dawkins. He was doing the same thing. Was a cop at Philly. He leaves, comes to the UFC, fights Derek Lewis, fights Curtis Blades, fights fucking killers, and then now my man's back at the police force. Not trying to throw shade, but I'm just saying it's hard.
Shout out to Anakin MMA for another good call out. He said Alex Morono.
Oh, Islam the Great White Hope, baby.
Oh, Alex Morono versus Malott.
Anakin, what the fuck are you on right now? Oh my
gosh.
This man is dropping bombs, baby. This man is dropping absolute fucking Pearl Harbor nukes right now. Boys,
I love that.
Boys, before we move on to this fight that I'm about to talk to y'all right now, because this was when it was time to wake the fuck up, folks. We got a decent fight with Mike Malott and Trevin Giles, but we got an absolute banger between the Power Bar and Dustin Stoltzfus. Nominally, let me come to you with this, bro, because we had the Power Bar and we were literally on sync with this. But shout out to Dustin Stoltzfus getting the performance of the night. And like you just said, brother, we couldn't have been more wrong.
Man, Stoltzfus made me feel like Adultsfus, bro, because he went out there and just depleted Marc-Andre Berriot, or as we like to call him, the Power Bar. I mean, look, we've all made it to the boss battle with barely anything left in the Power Bar, and that's what the fuck it looked like out there on Saturday, because the way Dustin went out there and flatlined this young man was something to behold. We've seen people go out there and take 200 fucking strikes to the dome. It only took 13 for this young man to really get it done, or at least that's how many significant strikes it took. 23 in totality, but only 13 really, really strong ones. Anakin... You were the chosen one, Anakin. That's why you're out here spitting all this fucking fire, my friend. But I have the high ground. You're absolutely right, though. I do think the chin might be a little bit depleted here for Marc-Andre Berriot. The Power Bar, as we say, might be gone. And I don't know that a health potion is going to fix it. It might be time to either hang up the gloves or at least take a prolonged break so that way you can work on your health. And I mean, these guys are not small guys, right? They're fighting in middleweight, 185 pounds.
Huge.
They're throwing fucking hammers in every sense of the word. And that's what we saw Dustin Stoltzfus do. Solid win for the young man. He improves to 16-6 in professional mixed martial arts. And you got to think he's going to have a number next to his name after he gets one more win on the record. Crossover, what you got, man?
So first off, Dustin Stoltzfus, like, I don't know, bro. It's like he hit him with a bust in his fist, bro. Because with these new gloves, like one punch is not knocking guys out and putting them out anymore. So the fact that like he was completely shut off as soon as he made contact with him, like I don't know, Marc-Andre Barrio, like he's gonna need quite a bit of time off or something, dude. Because he got hit so clean. And it was beautiful. And I was with you guys. I went with Barrio as well. And I was just like, oh my God, that was beautiful. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was amazing.
It was like watching not as dramatic as watching Max versus Ilya, but it's like you're watching this guy. You really want him to win. You want the power bar to do so good, bro, because he's been in the game so long, fought so many killers. But then you see a nasty knockout like that from Dustin, bro. And you can't hate but just to admire that, bro. I mean, that was nasty, bro. That uppercut was disgusting. There was no need for follow-ups. I mean, he put him out. Just like y'all are saying, either that's a retirement for the power bar or take some time off, man, and let's try to pick somebody that's not such a killer, but it's kind of hard to find in the UFC, bro, because everyone's just a murderer out there, which is not to be confused with killer. So I'm really excited to see what's next for Dustin Stoltzfus. I'm honestly with Anakin down there, who is, I guess, fucking Sean Shelby all of a sudden right now. This man's down here just spitting fuego. I would love to see Dustin Stoltzfus versus Joe Piper. What do you boys think about that?
Hey, if he's trying to knock people out like that, I got no problems with it. Let's make it happen.
That's a tough fight.
I want to see two heavy hitters get in there for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, sign me up, man. I mean, that's one where I don't know who I'd bet on, but I can tell you that the fans will probably win.
Or he could get the winner of Bo Nichols and Paul Craig.
Paul Craig?
Paul Craig. Crossover. Give me your best Paul Craig.
Dude, I can't do that, man.
I knew you weren't going to do it. I knew it. I was like, let me just toss it up and see if he'll do it for the live.
Let me see. Paul Craig.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's all I got.
That was good.
That was good, bro.
This man a round of applause. Paul Craig in the house. I thought it was the real thing. If I closed my eyes, I thought it was really him.
Also, give this man making the walk a shout out. That's a great point, bro. I think that's it for the power bar, bro. And like I said, I can't think of anybody else I even want to see him fight, bro, or even get on here with. So it's hard, bro, to see what's next for him. It's more easy to talk about Dustin Stoltzfus and kind of what we see next for him. We'll spend about 30 more seconds on this, boys. If there's any way y'all can think of another matchup for him in the top maybe 15 to 10, who would y'all say for him? Because I can't think of anyone off top of my head. Maybe a Chris Curtis.
Oh, man, that's tough. That's tough. Why not Shara Bullet Magomedov or Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez?
Give me
both
RoboCop.
Those guys could take a fight.
Ooh.
Give me Dustin Stoltzfus versus fucking RoboCop.
Ooh.
Let's go, kid.
Oh, my God.
Yes. I love watching RoboCop fights, man. Just throw him in there with another killer and let's just go at it.
Look, Crossover, if you like MMA and you don't like watching a RoboCop fight, I'm convinced that you actually don't indeed like MMA.
Facts. You are not wrong.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, you're not wrong, Anakin. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. What do you think about this?
Oh, Marc-Andre Barrio versus Armand Petrosian. I'm not mad at that. I think Armand probably does work, though, if I'm being real with you.
Same.
I think that would definitely put a nail in the coffin for Power Bar.
And it builds up Petrosky a little bit better, too.
100%.
But also, let's hear this real quick.
I'm him, guys. I'm him.
That's good. That's good.
That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. The Paul Craig was a little off. The Paul Craig, but that's pretty good. I'm him, guys. I'm him.
That's good.
Pretty good, bro. Boys, that's about all we got right there for Dustin Stoltzfus and the Power Bar. Shout out to Dustin Stoltzfus for fucking picking the night up, bro, because we needed a knockout like that. And honestly, I'm going to need the sound bar for this next fight.
You already know who it is, folks.
Olin, go ahead and introduce this next fight for me, brother.
Well, folks, we had a women's flyweight bout between Ariane Da Silva. I'm so used to calling her Ariane Delibsky.
Yeah.
My God. But the real person we're here to talk about here, folks, is the one and the only Jasmine.
Já se dava.
That's right. Just in case you didn't get that, it is Jasmine.
Já se dava.
And she had a problem after that fight.
My balls is hot.
And she had to let everyone know. Look, Jasmine Yazidavas is an absolute beast. But I'm not going to take the lead on this one. I feel like you've been so fucking kind and so fucking courteous, Sterling, and giving us the lead. You're going to break this one down first. Tell us how you really feel.
Bro, this was an interesting fight. Because we go from having that brutal knockout with Dustin Stoltzfus versus the power bar, get some life back into the card, finally got a fucking finish. Felt like that was the first interview of the night. And then we get Jasmine.
Já se dava.
She comes up against, and like you said, brother, hard not to call her Andre Lipsky. Andre De Silva. And this is a pretty good fight, bro. If you know S-Dog and you know how S-Dog feels about women's MMA, we don't go along the best. But I'll be real honest with y'all. This wasn't a bad fight. I was a little upset that it was on the main card, especially.
I understand.
Thank you, Joe. Especially because we had. Should I get to it now? I'm going to hold it. We'll talk about it after this fight. Because who I'm talking about should have been on this main card and maybe not this fight. But we had to deal with that. We had to deal with the loss of a black beast. I'll get into that. I'm saving it. I'm about to go fucking crazy. We're going to get demonetized. We had to go from not having that on the card to this fight, which, like I said, decent little scrap. I'm ready to get crossovers thoughts on this. But it wasn't a bad fight at all, bro. And shout out Jasmine for pointing out the dub, bro. Great fight.
So going into this fight, I'm very much an Ariane Lipsky before De Silva fan, and then when she got like she was definitely bae for me, but then when she got married, I was like, nah, like I'm done with her. So I definitely went with Jasmine Vicious going into the fight.
Já se dava.
And I was saying, man, Jasmine is a dog. Like even if you're touching her up on the feet, like she's not gonna back away. She's gonna keep coming forward. And she's going to get you down and she's going to try to maul you on the ground. It's beautiful. And she, got the submission win.
That's a great point, bro.
Absolutely, man. Look, I just think the world of Miss Jasmine.
Já se dava.
And I think that this was just proof and the nail in the coffin here. The club and sub finish in round number 3. She gets it done in impressive fashion over Ariane Lipsky. I'm never going to call her De Silva. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's tough. Okay. And indeed.
My balls is hot.
So I'm always going to call her Ariane Lipsky. And that's just how it is, folks. But we're here to talk again about Jasmine.
Já se dava.
Because she's the one that went out there and did work. She has done work since coming to the UFC. Look, she has a loss to Natalia Silva, which Natalia Silva, I think, is the fucking truth. Okay. In many, many ways. The loss to Tracy Cortez, I'll admit, I don't think Tracy is the best fighter in the whole wide world, and definitely not in that whole division. So it hasn't aged very, very well. But everyone else put in front of her, a Miranda Maverick, Priscilla Koshaira, and now Ariane Lipsky. She gets it done. This is her second Darce choke in the UFC. So absolutely impressive work from Jasmine.
Já se dava.
And I think you got to give her someone in the top 10 next. I mean, she's maybe 2 fights away from a title fight in what is not a super duper deep division, folks. I think she's just a few fights away from being in that conversation. Am I wrong here?
Nah, bro. Anytime you get a submission over a Brazilian like that, you're making moves. You're making great waves on that. I wouldn't mind seeing her fight Jillian Robertson. What do y'all think about that?
I'm not mad at that. I think that's a fun matchup.
It's fun, but I don't know if I want to see the Canada on Canada violence, though.
Come on, baby.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nah, fuck these Canadians.
I mean, think about it. Like they're both really good grapplers, and it's gonna get neutralized, man. Like I want to see, I want to see Jasmine get in there and just maul somebody.
But that's when 2 grapplers neutralize, and you get Kobe versus Kamaru, and these bitches standing there and bang, brother.
Man, we might get what's the Brazilian grappler that's really old?
Damian Maia.
Damian Maia versus like we might get Damian Maia against
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva?
No, one guy that got knocked out by Jake Paul.
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren on the
Throwing the
feet.
most free
We might get that.
spinning back fist you've ever seen in your entire life, my guy.
Shout out Sav in the chat.
Oh yeah, Robertson's fighting this weekend too.
I did
Yeah,
not know
yeah,
that,
that's right.
Sav. Thank
Shout
you
out to
for
Sav,
checking, boys.
letting us know, keeping us straight.
What about
Head on a
boys? What
swivel.
about this? What about this? I like it.
Ooh, Jessica Andrade.
I like it.
Not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad at it. I think when Karine Silva goes out there and possibly loses that fight coming up on UFC 309, she could fight Karine Silva. I think that'd be a fun fight,
That's not a
matchup
bad
wise.
fight either, bro. That's not a bad fight either. What is she in? Is she at 125?
Yeah, she's a women's flyweight. So I mean, and honestly, she could fight either one of those people in that fight. So it's Vivian Araujo versus Karine Silva. I'd like to see her fight the loser of that fight in general.
Yeah. I think that'll be some good matchmaking right there.
And they're both like
Maybe
between
join
the
that.
top 10 and 15 after that fight, whenever rankings update too. So I think it's a fun test for her.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I'm kind of right there with you now, bro. That's actually not a bad idea for her. But what we did have after this, boys, was a fight that I was hella excited for, and it did not live up to my expectations. I'm ready to see what y'all think about this fight. Moving on from the Jasmine fight to also, yeah, brother. That's exactly what this fight gives me. Man, I lost on this. I had Kaio. I'm ready to see who Crossover had over there, bro. I had Kaio going into this, bro, when I just didn't expect it to go to decision. I'd tell you that. But I didn't expect Brinson to be, that dominant on the ground as well. So what were your thoughts on this, bro, and who'd you have going into it?
So going in, I went with Brinson Hiberio. I thought we would get some more action as well. I actually picked him by second round KO. Shaw was just pretty much on his bike, dude, just circling and just didn't want to mix it up and get in the pocket for whatever reason. I mean, maybe he knew something we didn't know. But the fight just definitely disappointed. Like, I think everybody was expecting a banger. But it was just one of those fights like, let's just get through this and let's just get to something better.
That's exactly what this was, bro. There's really no need to spend more than 2 minutes on this fight. Olin, who'd you have going into this, brother, and what'd you think about it?
Well, I mean, I definitely was with you on this one. I had Caio Machado coming in, but Brinson Hibiero, he really shocked me in this fight. I did not expect him to come in and, I guess, scare Caio the way that he did. I think Crossover said it best. Caio was on his bike the entire time. It seemed like he knew something that we didn't know. Which, I mean, again, like we're getting hit in the face here, right? So if you're not the one in the octagon getting hit in the face, they definitely know something you don't. How hard that guy hits for one. So I didn't think that he was actually doing enough to win the fight. I mean, but on rewatch, definitely. I thought maybe Brendan did do enough to win 2 out of 3 rounds. Overall, I mean, pride rules. Our guy Caio still got it done. But Brendan goes out there and gets a decision win. Not necessarily the most impressive win. I didn't necessarily become the biggest fan of him overnight via watching that. And in a very, very shallow light heavyweight top 15, I still don't think he's broken into it.
Especially because they put you on the motherfucking main card because Derek Lewis couldn't be on that bitch. That's the only fucking reason they bumped you up to the main card. And you should take that opportunity knowing you're about to get to the co-main. What do you got over there, Crossover? Because I could go on a 2-minute
shout out, bro.
Shout out Anakin,
man.
What is he dropping?
Hiberio versus Ivan Urslan? Yes, make that happen. Make that happen.
I thought you were talking about that right there. I thought you were talking about that.
Bro, Anakin is cooking today, bro.
Yeah, and what the fuck are you on right now, bro?
Cooking, bro.
But honestly, I'm right here with Chris Gray. I'm still fucking pissed off about that last minute pullout. I had a feeling when he didn't show up to the ceremonial weigh-ins, he wasn't gonna fucking fight. Brendan Fitzgerald fucking lied to our faces, said the fight was still on. No worries, we're good to go. As soon as the card opens up, they drop a fucking bomb on us and let us know the only reason we're here today, he's not fighting. And honestly, the dude he was fighting against is a fucking killer. He fights Tybura in the November 16th card with John Jones and Stipe. So he fights on that. So excited to see what he does against Tybura. Because I did not want to see him fight Derek Lewis. That dude's a fucking dog. You talk about Brazilian favela hammers, that dude has them, bro. Crossover, we're just gonna spend literally fucking 20 seconds on this so we don't get depressed. Do you think Derek fights the rest of this year or no?
I think he'll get another fight, but I mean, so many people were disappointed, man. Like, this card would very much needed him, needed that presence, needed the entertainment on the main card for sure. And then especially what we got in this replacement was just a big letdown for me.
Yeah, bro, because we literally had that going into, because that fight happened, and then we're like, all right, boring, not the greatest fight. We didn't expect it to be like that. We're excited, ready to watch Aaron Blanchfield and Rose Namajunas. And boys, let me say this and let me pass it over to MMA Anomaly. Yeah, brother, let me say this. Let me throw it over there to you real fast, man. It happens. It's part of the game, man. We've seen this for everyone. You can't be at the top forever. Eventually, time catches up to you, and these young contenders start figuring out the game, man. Especially when you're not training with an elite coach like Trevor Whitman anymore, and you're putting all your fucking chips into Pat Barry. And I'm not trying to talk shit about Pat Barry, but I wouldn't want him to be my fucking head coach over Trevor Whitman any fucking day. So, Anomaly, give me your thoughts on this, bro. Is that it for Rose? And then what do you see next for Aaron Blanchfield? And if you got to go after this, bro, I definitely understand.
Oh, good. I think I'm good to do this one and the next one. I think we're staying on a tight schedule here. Look, man.
Let's go, baby.
I don't think we have to spend a ton of time talking about this fight because there wasn't a whole lot to dissect. You had Aaron Blanchfield who came out there, and I thought she was the next person that was going to actually be a title contender. And instead, she decided to fight the first 8 to 10 minutes of this fight in the worst way possible, not utilizing her game plan against Thug Rose Namajunas, and instead playing Thug Rose's game right in front of her. Did she land the bigger strikes? Yeah. Sure. Did she look decent? I mean, no, not really. She was out there trying to strike with Thug Rose. It made her look like she came in with a terrible fight plan. So look, man, I'd like to say that Thug Rose didn't train correctly for this fight, but the truth of the matter is she just wasn't groomed right for this fight. And it sucks. It's, bad jokes aside.
Oh man, look at this comment. Whoa, Black Betty, that is great,
dude. That's fantastic. I love that. Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, is on the same wavelength as me right now. Cracking the Predator jokes. I mean, look, some people can train and others just can't be groomed for this. I think Thug Rose's time is over. I think we've seen her best years, and to that, I'll do my only shot of the show and say, Thug Rose, it's been real. It's been fun. These last couple fights, though, they ain't been real fun. Great showing for the winner, though.
So for me on this fight, man, if you watch the first 2 rounds of this fight, you'd be like, oh, Rose is just cruising to a win, touching Aaron up on the feet. And then, I don't know, Aaron Blanchfield flipped the switch and was like, yeah, I'm not about to lose. Gets that takedown in round 3. Gets the win. And then on top of it, round 4, Aaron Blanchfield was winning the striking exchanges on the feet, which was crazy to me. I didn't see that coming at all. But I don't know. I just think Rose she's a long way removed from the I am the best girl, like the fighter we all came to love. But I don't know. I think Rose's biggest thing is just from the neck up, man. Really, I think it's just where her head is in the fight game when she gets in there, and I think that's just her Achilles heel.
And that's why this comment down there makes so much sense, Jax. Like I'm saying, you don't leave a guy like Trevor Whitman who has that much knowledge and can literally is the reason you beat Wei Lee with the I'm the best. That was from Trevor in the bat. I mean, this dude's a mental assassin. We've seen what he done with Kamaru Usman, Justin Gaethje, of course. This dude's a monster, bro. So the fact that you left that knowledge to be with a guy like Pat Barry, who fucking, what did he do his whole career? Just stand and bang with Chet Congo? I mean, come on, bro. It's hard to want to fucking leave a guy like that. She shouldn't have done that, bro. Trevor turned down Rose. We're good. Yeah, bro. So it's hard, man. It's hard for Rose. I think that's it for her, like y'all are all saying. Shout out Aaron Blanchfield. Let's speak on this real quick, boys. Move on to the main event. What do y'all see next for young Aaron Blanchfield?
I personally love the call out of Alexa Grasso. I thought that was perfect,
bro.
Couldn't have, like there was not a that was absolutely perfect with the call out. Perfect.
That's how you do a call out, bro. For all these
Mhm.
fighters watching, that's how you time it up. You know what it's happening. Nobody's out here like that's a fucking shitty call out. That shouldn't happen next. That's a great matchup next for her, bro. Both two young studs, and it's fresh blood into the division if she does win and gets the title shot against Valentina. Nominally, any other thoughts, bro, before we move on to the main event, baby?
I mean, biggest thought before we move on to the main event, I'll keep it brief. I just got to shout out the chat here. Chris Gray in the chat with a fucking hilarious comment here. He said, I'm glad Rose lost, though, because there was a fat, annoying chick cheering for her like crazy behind us, and the whole section was roasting her and then cheering for Aaron. Man.
Chris Gray, you're fucking on one today.
Dude,
you and Anakin are on
love,
one.
love fun experiences like that. And, hey, I hope Man U does good for you this year, man. I can tell you're a big fan.
Shout out Chris Gray and Anakin, man. These boys have come in dropping nothing but heat. And also, shout out Black Betty. That's a wild ass comment.
Whoa, Black Betty. Bam, bam.
Might have to use that. But boys, to the main event, the main course.
Time!
Drop that Bruce Buffer, baby. You already know what time it is. We are here to talk about the baby assassin versus, don't know his nickname, so that's great on me. That's good podcasting. Amir Albazi. Boys, this was an absolute fucking ass beating.
It's
Not
the
a
Prince.
scrap, not a war. This was an ass beating. And then how about Albazi pointing to the ground and then Brandon going, do you want your fucking ass whooped right here? Is this where you want your fucking ass whooped? That's cool. I'll go ahead and give you that. I build Legos during the day, but I'll beat your ass right now in front of everybody in Canada. Crossover. What was your thoughts on this, brother? Please tell me you had the baby face assassin. And what's next for him?
So I actually did go with Brandon Moreno by decision. So got that spot on. But I think Brandon Moreno really just came out and just made a statement to the rest of the division. Like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still the guy at the top of the division. I think he's literally one fight away from another title shot. I'm assuming they're going to have to do the Moreno-Kakar France rematch or Royval, just like Anakin said. Like, I don't know what other matchups you really can make at the top of the division at 125. Maybe somebody can get Tatsuro Taira somewhere in there, but I really don't know. It's kind of like we're just recycling guys. But that's pretty much where I'm at.
Sorry, brother. I had to pull that up. Chris Gray, you're dropping fucking fuego today. We don't know if you got one sparked up over there. You're taking a shot, but
Guy, Tatsuro Taira.
we need that energy every live. But anyways, crossover. Back to what you were saying.
Oh, no, that's all I had.
That's it. Okay. Anomaly.
I mean, I'm on the same wavelength as Crossover here today. I mean, the dude is either drinking the same Kool-Aid as me or maybe we're just both factually correct because we're on the same fucking page here, man. If he were to fight somebody like a Tatsuro Taira,
I'm happy, thank you!
would probably be the only thing that comes to mind for me. I think we're all itching to see a comeback from that kid. And I just think it'd be a really, really fun matchup. But as far as this fight, and I know you said Amir Albazi, you don't know his nickname. It's Prince. He's Prince.
Damn, Prince.
And after you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, a little blurb that's going to help you remember it for the rest of your life. Let me tell you why he's a Prince. Because performances like that show you why he's not a king quite yet.
Woo! Those are parallels. Those are parallels.
You know what I'm saying? This guy went out there and he tried to do everything that he could to beat Brandon Moreno, but it just looked, for lack of better words, like he was standing in front of him to take the punishment. When he would throw a shot, his opponent would land too. So, you know, Bruce Lee said a quote somewhere to the tune of, if a man is willing to punch you and break skin, be willing to punch him and break bone. If a man is willing to punch you and break bones, be willing to punch him and injure organs. If a man is willing to punch you and injure organs, be willing to punch him and end his life. And I think that's what we saw the parallels of in this fight, right? We had one man that was out there looking to win a competition. We had another man that was looking to go out there and win a fight. Look, I know one of you guys mentioned the fact that Brandon Moreno likes to build Legos when he's not buying Funko Pops. The timing looked so goddamn good out there on Saturday. It looked like he could probably put some Lego pieces together in between stringing combos together, boys. This was just an absolute just star performance for Brandon Moreno. He should have probably walked out to y'all must have forgot because that's what it felt like. It felt like that kind of fucking performance. And next time you try and say that he is not top 3 worthy or not title worthy, I am definitely going to look you square in the eyes and say,
Come on, don't be crazy.
because that's exactly what the fuck you're doing at that point, folks.
And what my man said
Star-studded
at the bottom,
performance.
too.
Dude, Moreno schooled him. Thank you. I don't know how to say your
Yeah,
name. Is it Side or City? Either way, what a fucking headshot. My goodness, that's model-esque right there, my friend. Just
Yeah,
like
bro,
the
but he
performance
did.
of Brandon Moreno. Sterling, what were your thoughts, man?
Bro, like my man said at the bottom there, Moreno's not a teacher, but he did take this man to school. That was an absolute ass whooping. The fact that he wanted to point to the bottom and then proceed to get a fucking 8-piece combo put on him was hilarious. Brandon Moreno's that dude, man. It's insane how long this dude's been in the UFC, the amount of fucking wars he's put on for us, bro. I mean, he's just the man, dude. I've never met anyone in my life say they hate Brandon Moreno, they don't like his fights, they hope he loses. He's the man, bro. He puts on one of the best post-fight speeches you'll ever hear. Maybe not today, but one day I will be a champion. That's really all you can ask, bro. This man is truly a man anyone with their kids starting MMA should inspire to be. And honestly, boys, what's next for him? The title shot. I know we're going to see it for the 19th time, but there's just nothing else for him. I don't want to see him fight if it's not for the title, bro. He deserves it. I love Pantoja, bro, but he just deserves it, man. Nominally, give me your thoughts on this, brother, and we're close to wrapping this up. I know you got to get going soon, bro.
Yeah, man. So when it comes to this one, like I said, I'm not mad against him fighting somebody like a,
I'm happy to go.
Tatsuro Taira, but at the same time, he's the fucking king, right? He is the king among princes when it comes to that Amir Albazi. So maybe you give him a raw dog. I think that's another really, really fun match if you don't give, that guy the title fight. Other than that, I don't think there's any reason for him to fight anybody else. And I don't think he's a good stylistic matchup for a guy
Happy to go.
Tatsuro Taira. So maybe if I'm him, I take 6 or 7 months off, maybe even 9. I build some Legos, and then I get a fucking title shot.
Build you a fucking UFC title full of Legos. Get the crowd in the behind scenes. Get Bruce Buffer Lego. Get a Dana White Lego. Get all of it. And I'm with Black Betty. Like I said, him pointing to the ground and then just throwing 2 jabs and proceeding to get pieced up was hilarious. Crossover. Before we get out of here, brother, any other thoughts for Brandon Moreno on you, man, and what do you think he should do next?
Man, honestly, I think it's a tough little spot at the top of 125. We got 3 guys that honestly deserve a title shot between Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France, and Brandon Royval. Like something's got to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Forget about Kai Kara, bro.
I don't know what's going to happen. Probably 2 of those guys are going to end up fighting. And then the guy that doesn't fight was probably going to be the odd guy out and end up getting a title fight because he's just going to be available when the winner of Asakura Pantoja is available.
Yeah, bro. And that makes the most amount of sense, bro, for each dude, man, to be real honest with you, bro. Overall, boys, before we get out of here, let me toss it over to y'all. Give me all the overall thoughts on the card from first fight of the night to the end. Just kind of the overall aspects of what we saw Saturday night, any stories that stuck out to you, and super pumped for this weekend, man.
So for me, I wouldn't say this card was a barn burner by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
We kind of had to grind through it as usual. You know, we just had UFC 308, so we were at the apex, and then we just had to come down a little bit. But we got through it, and now we get another killer fighting in the main card this coming weekend, and Carlos Freitas, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Bro, that's a fucking great point too, bro. Nominally,
100%. I agree with Crossover again. We're fucking hitting the same wavelength here, folks. Look, this was by no means a fight card that I'm going to go back and put on from start to finish when highly intoxicated one night and I have nothing to watch.
Oh man,
there are so many other fight cards I can watch instead of it, and I mean, I'd rather watch an Invicta card than some of these. But I digress. I threw that one in there for you, S-Dog.
I appreciate that.
It was like a 6 out of 10, right? I've seen worse cards for sure. I've seen cards that have like 14 build fights and not one finish. So at least we got some finishes. That Youssef Zalal thing was something to wake us up, make us realize we're watching a fucking fight night. But I will say,
or Schultz, Dalton, or man, I'm fucking up.
Dustin Stoltzfus.
Dustin Stoltzfus, yes, thank you,
my guy. I got you, brother. I'm picking down what you're, or I'm picking up what you're putting down. And I agree again with Crossover here. We got a fighting nerd fighting next week, and I mean, come on, I rep the nerds here. So I can't wait to see that. Carlos Paredes is an absolute beast. He is a fucking sniper in there, and I can't wait to break that one down too. So thanks for having me on. And Sterling, what were your thoughts on the card before we close it out?
Brother, just like y'all were saying already, I would not go back and rewatch this whole card. Decent little night of scraps. Honestly, to be real with y'all, I'm just super happy it wasn't in the Apex. I'm glad they're starting to go back out to more crowds, bro. Even for decent cards like this, just having the crowd's a different vibe, bro, and it helps out so much, man. And honestly, can't wait for this weekend, bro. We're gonna do a prediction show on it, folks, this Thursday. I appreciate everybody for being in the chat today. At one point, we were at 32 viewers in the chat. Right now, we're at 15. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know so much. Thank you. My performance today was shitty. I will be real honest with y'all.
We're not impressed with your performance.
Thank you. I wish you had the GSP soundbite for that, because my performance today was low level. We'll tighten back up on Thursday. Hopefully we'll have McDane here or Ola that can help run that other background shit. So I'm just doing one thing at a time here. But I appreciate the fuck out of these two boys for joining me today. Y'all really helped carry the load for me today. I promise I got y'all's backs on Thursday when we do this prediction show. Thank y'all for pushing through with me today, folks, and everyone in the chat. Have a great day. Have a great life. Go out, say something nice that might change your friends' lives. Thank y'all so much for being here. Crossover, tell the folks where to find you. Ola, we're going to go right after him. We're going to get you, and then we're out of here, bro.
You can find me at Crossover MMA on YouTube, and then Crossover MMA 23 on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Find me, come check me out. I go live 1-2 times a week, put out videos. Come over, have a good time. Let me know what you think.
Olin?
And Crossover has absolutely solid content, just like my guy Sterling at Sdawgsmma Talk. And if you want to follow me, if you're not completely annoyed with my voice, or maybe you just want to watch my face and hope it gets punched at some point in time, that's fine too. It is at MMA Anomaly on any and all platforms. That is MMANOMALY. And I hope to see a couple of you folks at my next live. We will be doing it with the one, the only Jive Turkey Nano tomorrow. He's back from Spain, back from the honeymoon here. And we'll be breaking down some fights then. So hope to see some of you there. And Sterling, I can't wait to have you back on another episode too, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. It was great to finally be on your show this past weekend too. The past Tuesday and Wednesday, this man goes live 8 p.m. Eastern. Shout out everyone in the chat again. I don't want to give another 30-second outro. Thank y'all for being here so much. We appreciate y'all. Like I said before, say something nice. Do something great with your life. Say something that will change your friend's life. I fucked that up. Thank y'all for being here, folks. We appreciate you. Hit for that outro, baby.